Welcome back to another episode of the Fields Daily Show with our sick picks of the week. Starting off this Thursday night, we have the Saints versus the Arizona Cardinals. Now, DeAndre Hopkins is back, and a new addition with Robbie Anderson. This is going to help the Arizona offense. I see them coming out with a win by 3. And then that brings us to Green Bay and Washington. Green Bay's been struggling a lot. I don't think Washington has enough. Green Bay for the win. This brings us to the Falcons against the Bengals. Bengals defense is going to keep this one a close one. Another win by 3 Bengals. Which takes us to the Lions versus the Cowboys. Dak returns this week after a Cooper Rush first loss. And I think that Dak has what it takes to come in and get the win against the Lions.
Whoa! I'm not surprised you picked the Cowboys in that one, but that has the potential to be a shootout with the Lions for sure, especially after them having the week off. That takes me to the Jags at the Giants in New York City. Brian Daboll could easily be called the coach of the year so far. That defense is rolling. Coaching really matters this year, and it's showing in the Jets and the Giants so far. Jags are young. They're getting better, but they're just making way too many mistakes. They're learning how to win, so I'm picking the Giants with this one. Takes me to the division foes, Colts versus the Titans in Tennessee. The Colts are back on the winning ways, 3-2-1, but the Titans are coming off a bye, and they're 3-2. The Colts have struggled in the division. They're 1-2-1, so I'm going to have to go with the Titans in this one. In that next matchup, Kansas City and the Niners. Kansas City having to go into Santa Clara and play the Niners. But as we saw last week, the defense for the Niners is only at half strength, and that's why the Falcons were able to beat them. I think Kansas City will do a little bit of the same. They're going to get some Mahomes and Kelsey and company, and they'll be able to get over the Niners. So Kansas City is going to go in there and win. Then that takes us to the toughest game for the week for me to pick, Seattle at the LA Chargers. Herbert's still beat up. That O-line is horrific, as we saw against the Denver Broncos. Seattle hasn't faced a defense like this, though, since Denver in week 1, and they did beat them by 1. So Geno's balling, but Seattle's inconsistent. They're 3-3, but they can put up 30 to 40 points in any given game. So I'm going to have to say Seattle by 3 in this one. What do you think about the Texans at the Raiders there? Fields Daily?
Yeah, I just have one word for this pick. Raiders. Which brings us to the Jets and the Broncos. Now, the Broncos have been struggling a lot this year, and the Jets seem to just keep getting better. I think the Jets are going to go into Broncos Stadium and ride the win out. So, sorry to bother you at work there, Sean F. Smith, but what do you think about that next game?
Man, yeah. I get you, man. I get you. I can see the Jets pulling it off in Denver. Man, it's going to be a rough season for Russell Wilson and those Broncos. Which brings me to the Browns at the Ravens. Speaking of a tough season, the Browns are down and out. Baltimore's going to win this one. I know Chubb is one of the top running backs. They're not going to have enough. Jacoby is not able to carry the team as a quarterback. Cleveland has lost 3 games in a row. 5 more weeks before Deshaun comes back. So Ravens win. Bucks at the Panthers. I thought the Panthers were going to play a lot harder last week, especially after changing head coaches. They did not. The Bucks are going to win this one. I see it tanking in their near future. I shouldn't have picked them last week. They got rid of the wide receiver Robbie Anderson, and McCaffrey is going to be next. So, wow. What do you think about that Sunday night football game there, bud?
Sunday. That's right, Steelers versus the Dolphins. Tua's finally coming back from his devastating injury, and Waddle was struggling a little bit there, but I think with this game, Tua and Waddle and Hill will all match up very nicely, and the Dolphins will come out with a win on this one. Back to you for Monday Night Football.
Yes, indeed. That brings us to the final game of Week 7 on Monday Night Football. football. The Bears at the Pats. I don't even think this is going to be a close one. Zappe, the third string quarterback's come in. He's been balling. The Pats defense has been playing really well, and they are going to have Justin Fields running for his life. The Bears are not going to have a chance on Monday Night Football. Thank you so much for checking us out here on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Continue to watch our Sick Picks of the Week right here at the Sick Picks Pub or wherever we shall play. And also check out our podcast, The Frills Daily Show, on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, and iHeartRadio with your host, Frills Daily and Sean F. Smith. The Frills Daily Show, coming at you every week with the Sick Picks of the Week and our show.